everyone. Welcome back to this is the sixth episode, I think, of Contested Foul, which is really, really awesome. And our guest today is Zach Norrbom. Hello, how are you doing?
Hi, nice to see you. Thanks for having me on. I'm doing great.
Awesome. Okay, well, you've been playing frisbee for a really long time in the DC area for a lot of it. And I wanted to hear, we always start on the podcast with how the guests got involved with playing frisbee in the first place.
Sure, yeah. I started playing at Frisbee Camp in 2009. So I've played all my Frisbee in Virginia, most of it in Arlington. Since then, some abroad, but mostly all in DC. So that summer camp, I followed my sister there. And then went a couple more years, became a counselor once I got to high school. Then in the last couple of years, I became a director of the camp. So I've been involved with that camp my entire career, which is kind of crazy to think about. But yeah, so it was a great time, and I'm still here.
Awesome. I didn't know you had actually started at CUC. I definitely have a lot of questions about CUC for later on. But you mentioned your sister, which I had a question about. So I know you have two brothers and a sister, right?
Yeah, mhm.
Are you like the oldest or the second oldest?
Yeah. I'm technically the middle child, I guess you'd say. So my older sister is about 2 years older. My younger brothers are twins, and they're 2 years younger. So I'm right in the middle there.
Okay, was it your oldest sister that got all of you guys involved in frisbee? Because I know you all play, which is pretty fun.
Yeah, we grew up playing soccer, and I think my sister did some gymnastics and some other sports as well. She was the first one to get into HB Woodlawn in Arlington, and so when she got into it, she got recruited. She started playing. I think, I don't know, I can't remember if like she was a counselor or just another. The camp was just kind of getting started, so she was involved, and then she brought the brothers along, and we had only been playing soccer, and then we eventually all switched one by one as we all got into HB slowly.
Okay, I was gonna ask. I couldn't remember if you went to HB or you went to Yorktown, but did you play for HB when it was YHB?
Yeah, so my story is a little bit interesting. Out of middle school, I got into Yorktown and I went there for my freshman year. So my
Okay.
sister was at HB. She was like, "It's great. We're playing frisbee. It's perfect." And I was at Yorktown and I liked it. It was good. I played soccer still. And then my brothers got into the HB middle school for 8th grade, and I was like, "Oh well, all my siblings are over there. I didn't get into HB. I was on the wait list, so." And I was like, well, I better give this frisbee a try. Summer camp was fun, so I started playing at HB and playing soccer, and I started playing crew for a season.
Oh wow.
And I was like doing all these things, and I was commuting on the bus after school to HB anyway, and then we'd all drive home in the mom van. And I was like, well, you know what, like doing this anyway, it's a lot of fun. I might as well just quit soccer and crew. And I never even got on the water in crew. I was so excited. All this fall and winter training just to never even touch water. And I was like, oh, bye, guys. This was fun. I'm in really good shape now. Appreciate that.
There you go.
So then we all ended up at HB playing for all of our years since then. So it was good.
That's really cool. And do you teach art at HB right now?
I do. I do. So I'm really a full circle homer, I guess, in the end. When I started playing, it was YHB. My senior year, we split into HB in Yorktown. So I had to play against all my teammates that I had just been teammates with for 3 years, which
Oh
was really
no.
sad. But the Arlington community is so lovely. When I graduated from college, I married Washington, which is also in Virginia, staying local. I came back and I actually started the WAC program, which is the new
Oh yeah.
Executive Career Center. So with the help of Dave Souls, who was involved in EULA at the time, and so he hooked me up there. We started it, and then I got a call a couple years ago from my old art teacher, and she was like, "Hey, the middle school teacher just left. I hear you're an art teacher now." And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Do you want to come work with me?" And I was like, "Of course. Let's get it going." So I switched. This is my 4th year there, and so we're gearing up for a strong HB season.
That's awesome. Okay. Yeah, I bet working at HB would be really fun. My friend's mom works, she worked at the career center. Dr. Van Layer, if you ever met her.
I do know that. Yeah.
Okay, wait, yeah, because she would talk to me about the frisbee team. Anyway, she would
Mhm.
always say that nobody would ever leave HB teaching wise. It'd
Mm.
be really hard to get a position there because everybody wanted to work there. So I hope you're having a good time.
it's weird being staff members with my old teachers.
Yes.
We have a good retention rate, and that's
Yeah.
also why it's a little strange too to see everybody and be like, what do you think of me? And
Yeah.
who was I?
Yeah. That I didn't even think about that, but yeah, that makes sense. That's really funny. Okay, so you coached at Career Center, but are you still coaching there? Or are you coaching at HB now, right?
When I made the switch job wise, I switched schools as well, which was
Okay.
sad, but made more sense to be there.
That makes sense. Are you doing any other than CUC, obviously? Are you doing any other coaching right now?
Yeah. I've done I the cool thing is that I've, loved being involved in as many things as I can. Sometimes my time runs a little short, but I've coached YCCs for a number of years and I took a couple years off, but I'm returning um, this year to coach YCCs. So excited about that. Last year, I got a really cool opportunity to coach a year of the DC Shadow, which was really
Oh
cool.
yeah.
And I thought about where I could go. But this year is all about the high school and the next generation. So really
Okay.
excited to do some YCCs again.
Okay, so are you gonna coach Foggy? I was looking at your Ultiverse that you did coach them.
I did coach Foggy. Actually, hot off the presses is that I decided this past weekend. It was a really hard decision, but I'm going to coach swing vote this summer.
Yay.
So
Okay.
yeah, and did you play a swing vote?
I
Okay,
did
like
in
yeah,
before COVID. Yeah.
wow, ages ago, ages
I did.
ago.
Oh, it
Well,
feels
that's
like
awesome. Yeah,
it.
so I'm going over there. The main draws are the HB girls program is so good. And I've coached next to them a lot.
Mhm.
I love a chance to coach them. And my brother Gus is coaching with me, as we're both assistants. But yeah, it'd be really cool to coach him. It was sad to leave Foggy. I love the coaching staff and the players there. So that also really sucks, but
Yeah.
can't
You'll
do
still
all of them.
see them. Yeah, I coached YCC's last year for a Chicago team,
Oh, nice.
the under 20 boys, and it was pretty fun. But I was gonna say I saw like Nicole, I saw Alexi, I saw a bunch of people like that. But I was like, I don't remember seeing you. But I don't know if I'm gonna do it yet this year. But
Okay.
if I do it in the future and you're there, I'll look out.
For sure. We'll love to connect. I mean, I feel like I haven't seen you since our last CUC summer together. It's been a while,
Yes,
but
and it wasn't even. It was the one where I was at Bayside, but then you got COVID.
oh right.
Yes, so I saw you
Brutal.
at the one meeting we had.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, that was sad that you got COVID.
Yeah, stuff. I got COVID at YCC's
Yes.
week before.
Yeah, that was the year everyone got it. That's
Yeah,
what someone was
it was a
saying.
tough one.
Oh boy.
Yeah, yeah.
That sounds rough.
That's all good.
Okay. Well, I you talked a little bit, the tiniest bit about Mary Washington. I wanted to hear more about your time at Mary Washington, and then also, if I'm getting this correct, you were the first person to ever win the Donovan Award. To
Second, but yeah, second
second?
one.
Ah,
Second one.
damn it. Okay. That's still cool.
That's close. Yeah, and I also need to ask you about like your college and where you are in life now because people got to know.
Okay.
But yeah, I went to Mary Washington. Little old me was like, or a little younger me was like, you know what? DC has a lot of really awesome frisbee. I better stay really close. And so I only applied to a couple of schools. And then I was like, oh, this school, Mary Washington, they let me in immediately, and they're like an hour from DC. Perfect. I bet they have classes at a school. I'll just go there.
Hopefully.
And so I went and checked it out, and I was like, yeah, they got a team. They seem pretty cool. Let's just do that, and then I can play in DC forever. And so I basically did that, and it's a small D3 school, a little over 3,000 people. Found some immediate fast friends who I convinced to join and play frisbee, and it was really just a lovely ride. We turned the team around from being put on sanction for the team had to go off a year because they
Oh
were
no.
apparently partying too
Oh,
hard, and
oh
so they
no.
couldn't exist for a year. They were on probation, and
From
then
like the school or from USAU?
the school,
The school,
yeah,
yeah.
so they got in trouble. From what I hear, it was all good fun.
Okay.
I wasn't around to see, but we come in. The team is like slowly inching its way back. The legendary Sean Fredericks was trying to lead the charge back. We rallied behind him, and then for the next 4 or 5 years, we completely changed things around. We ended up being Club Sport of the Year. We got in good with the school. I have an email from the president of the university still saved on my dashboard saying like good job, and like I hear you guys hammock in front of my office. Um,
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, it was really cool. And then we made our first trip to nationals my 5th year, and then I won the second Donovan behind the legendary Henry Babcock. Shout out
Oh, okay,
my
okay.
nemesis.
Where
From
was he at school?
he was at the University of Richmond, who
Oh,
were
so
all my
yeah.
nemesis in college, and
Okay.
I made it my mission to destroy them. But it turns out after college, we're good friends. But
Okay, that's good. That's cool. Well, yeah, I guess I can say if we're talking about college, I graduated from Loyola um, in May, and I'm still in Chicago. I'm working a bunch of jobs right now. When I started this, I was working fewer jobs, but one of them's I'm working for a state senator, and he's either going to be elected or not elected March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. So hopefully, my life either probably gets a lot less busy after that. So that's like the date I'm looking for. But let me think. Oh, I'm still playing club. I play for a club called Dish. I'm gonna actually captain this summer,
oh,
which is part
nice.
of the reason why I can't coach again because it in Chicago all the youth scenes are like in the suburbs, and it's a pretty big city, so it was getting hard to like drive all the way out there. Um, yeah, honestly, that's most of my update.
I might be missing this. Did I have it right that did you play mixed a couple seasons ago, or like link up with
Caleb or
yeah,
Jordy,
one
both
of
neither.
those.
Yeah, I played last summer it was my first year playing for this women's team. The summer before that I played for a mixed team that Caleb Moran was also on.
That's what I'm
And
thinking
now
of.
he's in Chicago. He's actually dating one of my best friends. I introduced them. So and he was my first episode I did on the podcast.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love
so
the Morans. Okay, yeah, I was like,
yes.
there was definitely some
He's
connection,
here.
and I remember seeing a roster when I was like, oh, look at this weird Eula Chicago pipeline.
Yeah. And oh yeah, Sean McSweeney's here
Tom
too. He plays
Sweeney,
for
yeah,
that team. And Jordy was like practice playing and I was like, why are there 5 HB alumni on this one team in
that's amazing.
Chicago? At Bayside the year you couldn't go, Dave Souls made me stand up in front of all these kids and be like, tell them that. Like to be like, look at these memories you can make forever. So I did
That's
have to
amazing.
tell everybody about that at camp, but that's okay. Um okay, well I let me see what I wrote down. Okay, I had some questions about your club experience. So you played rally last year. Are you playing club again? Are you playing rally again this year? Is that the plan?
Yeah, so I've played mixed almost every season of my career, a couple of years on truck stop, and last year was my first year captaining rally. But after our first tournament in June, I hurt my back really bad, so I slipped a disc, and
Oh no.
then was out for the rest of the season. And I'm mostly healed, but coming back slowly. So I'm actually practice playing slash not really playing club this year. My first club season off
Uh
since 2013. So it's real crazy not to be doing it. I mean, I usually for a good decade there was playing breeze and doing club, and now I'm doing neither in the summer, which is very strange. But
you're going to
it's
have a lot of free time, I guess, but
good to rest. It's good to
yeah.
rest.
Oh,
But
that's well, hopefully so are you going to do like coaching or are you just going to really focus on getting better?
yeah,
Like
definitely doing the YCCs for a little bit. My main focus, I think I'll probably practice play on rally and spend and go to all those practices and stuff and support the team. And then besides that, I've got a couple plans to go to do my CUC camp. I'm also going to the National Ultimate Training Camp, NUTSI,
ooh.
up north. I went there as a camper, and the legendary Tina Booth is retiring after this year, and so
Oh.
I said I have to go one more time. I haven't been in a while. I have to go back and counsel with her one more time before she retires.
Yeah, I went to Nutsy, the one in Massachusetts,
Yep,
Amherst. Yeah, I went one year. The same summer I played swing vote, and it was very fun.
nice.
It seemed like everyone. I think Johnny Malks was coaching that year. Maybe
Yeah,
I'm
Johnny and I
totally.
overlapped 1 year.
Clara
It'd be
Stewart
crazy.
was also there.
Who?
Clara Stewart, not from
Oh
here, but
yes,
not from
yes.
Arlington, but
No,
yeah.
oh, my
I'm
mom
like
is
trying. Oh,
never good. Sorry.
okay, I'm trying to remember all the counselors I had then. Those are the
Yeah,
only two I
there's
can
still a
remember.
group me. Um, that actually me and Timmy Bobrowski started in like the early 2010s. That is still going. I call the Breakfast Club, and we have all the counselors like that have ever counseled in there, which is pretty
That's so
funny.
fun. That's
Um,
cool.
yeah, a lot of legends created and passed through, as you know yourself.
It was very fun. It was a good camp. Um, I don't know about comparisons to Bayside, but it was a
I
good
know
time.
we probably win the fun category.
Yeah, I knew a lot more people at Bayside.
True, true.
Um, okay. Sorry, but yeah, rally. What were we talking about? Rally. I want to hear a little bit more about you guys had to beat AMP the last 2 summers to make it to nationals, or was it one summer?
Yeah, the last two.
That's a pretty big deal. I remember the first year I saw that and I was like, "What? Like, what's going on?" Do you have any more info about that?
Sure, sure. Yeah, sorry, I'm rambling, but I love the tangents.
No, that's please ramble.
Yeah, so my first year, 2023, with Rally, I had this thing where I play every other regionals based on the last couple of years where I've been sick.
Oh no.
So 2023, the team led by Anthony McLean and Xavier Maxtat and Sammy Smalling. Anthony and Xavier and I go way back. They recruited me. I've always wanted to play with them, and we kind of the team kind of turns around and we go to regionals and there's two bids. We earned a bid and we lost to Amp, but we beat Loco in the game to go. And I watched from my car in the parking lot while being very feverish. And it was crazy. My mom drove me anyway because I was like, you know what? Like, what if I'm okay tomorrow? You know, what if I can play
You
on
couldn't even
Sunday?
drive? Your mom
And
had to drive
so
you?
my mom and my brothers and I all drive up, and then Adam and Gus go and play. Go or Gus, I think Adam's maybe it was abroad. I don't know. Gus goes and play. Adam and Gus go and play. I think this was the vault truck rally year. We were all split up,
Okay.
um, and I'm watching from the car, and then I did not play. I was very very sick,
Yeah.
and then me and my mom drove home because my brothers were like, "We're not riding home in Zach's officially sick car." So the next year, so I missed that regionals. But we make it. We get second. The next year, we're like, we didn't win get a bid, and so we're like, oh no, we're screwed. And that season, if I remember correctly, regionals is the coming weekend, and I cut my finger really bad while peeling potatoes, and I was like, oh no,
On
like
your right hand or whatever.
on my left, yeah. I was like,
Okay.
oh no, what am I gonna do? And then it gets rained out, and it gets postponed a weekend, and I'm like, bet we're back, we're
Yeah.
still fine. And then we get there, and I'm like, okay, actually, this might have been 2023. I'm gonna cut my finger and been sick. Anyway,
Why
2024, we
not?
get there. There's one bid. We got to do it. Girlfriend Ellen is captaining, which is really cool. And then yeah, it's us versus Amp in the finals. Uh, we lose a bunch of people to injuries during that game. A
Oh
couple of
no.
layouts landing weird. Julia goes down with like a hurt wrist, then comes back and plays through it. Getting Howe of Chicago fame hurts his leg during the game, and I'm getting my butt absolutely handed to all game, and I'm like, man, like this is so tough. Like we're close. Our D line's playing great. What am I gonna do? I'm just getting trounced out there. And then the second half, like our D line just played so well. The Eula's Will Tober,
Yep.
you might know from I think he played Foggy back in the day, but Will Tober played great. Everyone played really well. We end up beating them, which is nuts. It's M's first time. I think even losing the region in decades.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Even when I was on Space Heater and we had this like super team assembled, they still beat us both the years I was there. And I was like, you know what? I don't think they can ever lose. So we finally pulled the upset, which is pretty crazy. Last year, I pulled my back and couldn't play, but
Yeah.
we carried through and we won again. They still went to nationals because they were second bid. So it was still crazy that we've won twice, and I've kind of bookended the times I've played. So maybe this coming regionals I'll end up playing just for the cycle, but
Hopefully,
who knows with who?
if you can. Well, do you think Rally's got a good shot at being back at nationals, or there being 2 bids or 1 bid? having to
Good
fight
question.
for it?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope it's Rally. I hope is here to stay. I know that the Philly Pac-Man team, the boys, the men's team in Philly has really got a lot of support from their talent, and so it seems like there's been a shift for AMP. So regardless, I hope like Rally's strong. I hope we get some nice. Hopefully we get some nice EULA, alumni carrying through and feeding the program. So I think we'll be good. Hopefully it's worked out in weird ways the last 3 years. So it'll find a
Yeah,
way this one.
hopefully. What was your highest finish that you guys got in those years you went to nationals, if you know?
Um, we've gotten, I believe, one place better each time. I
Okay,
think
that's
it
good.
went, I think it went 10-9-8,
Okay.
something like that, or maybe 11-10-9, something like that.
Okay, that's really
So,
good.
a couple more years and we're going to be there.
Exactly. Okay, now I had a question, and I'm pretty sure I'm remembering this correctly. When in 2018, when you played with Space Heater in 20, this was me on Ultiverse again, so
Sure.
that's why I know all these random dates. You played for Space Heater in 2018. That's when you guys got to semifinals, right?
Hmm.
And that was against Amp, right?
Correct.
With the bobble.
Oh,
I was
yes, indeed.
I was wondering. I'd love to hear your thoughts, your personal thoughts on that, and then also, did you feel a sense of like, um, I don't know, like, were you very happy to beat Amp in the region the last 2 years specifically because of that, or have you let bygones be bygones?
That's a great question. Bubblegate is forever. Bubblegate's
Yeah.
forever, and it's definitely strange. That 2018 was so cool to be on. It had just formed after AG fell apart, which I'd been on as well, and so people either kind of went to Space Eater, I almost said Space Force, Space
They
Eater,
moved.
or they started Rally, and so
Okay.
when that split happened, I wasn't super close with the people on Rally, but I was like, I always wanted to play with them, so we did Space Eater, and then I was like, oh, I've always wanted to try being teammates with Noah Newberger, Piper, some really cool people. And I was like, you know what? Like when I left Truck Stop, I was like, I gotta link back up and have some more seasons with them. So I like that I got to play with everybody. But yeah, 2018, we go on. It's all a blur. We go on a crazy run. We lose to teams we shouldn't have lost to. We beat teams that we had no business beating. That BFG game went to Universe, and I have no idea how we won. Then we put up a jump ball to a pile on Universe,
Yep.
and I was like, "Yeah, I guess I would feel really mad if I was them. I don't know
Yeah.
how we pulled it off." And then we get to semis. I'm freaking out. That's the
Yeah.
biggest stage I've ever played on. Yeah, I mean, the trust from Alan and Jenny was radiating, and it was quite awesome to play on. And then, of course, it was so easy to play these other teams in nationals I'd never played before, but it was so fitting and so motivating to play Amp then because I just lost them the last 7 years, and I was like, we have a chance.
Yep.
A bunch of calls all game had us feeling pretty angsty. It was pretty fiery. I think Amp definitely wanted to beat us by a lot and prove that they were much better. After they just beat us at regionals a couple weeks ago, and I remember I didn't even see the bobble gate happen. I was at half field walking back to the line. I assumed we had scored. They had scored, but it was right in front of Georgia Boscher and Jenny Fay, like right
Okay.
next to them,
Yeah.
and right next to the sideline of all AMP players, and it was right there. And I mean, to hear Jenny and Georgia tell the story really fires me up to this day. Um, and yeah, it was tough. It was tough losing for a lot of calls that game. There was a couple that I think were really flagrant. In the game moment, I didn't really know how much the bobblegate would take off compared to a couple other fouls that I thought were a little incorrect. So the bobblegate is still a joke and a reference to this day, which I love. I feel bad for Linda. She's a good person, as I've
Yeah.
grown to know now in my mature older age. But I think still that game of bobblegate and some suspicious calls still lives in my memory as like one of like the biggest, what could have beens, because I think we would have won the whole thing if we had won that semifinal.
Who was that final against? Like, who did Amp end up playing?
I believe it ended up being Mixtape.
Okay.
And they played Snake Country in the semis, which
Oh,
was
yeah.
crazy. It was
Okay.
two new mixed teams of retired veterans combining to play the two mixed powerhouses in semis, and
Yeah.
it's fitting that Amp beat us and Mixtape beat them. But man, I thought that was us for sure. And we had just beat Mixtape by a bunch the day before or 2 days
Oh,
before, so I was like,
okay.
and Snake Country. I was like, we
So, like, what if?
we
Yeah.
we had them. We just need to get through Amp, and you know, it's also tough. Sean Mott is now in DC, and I think it's tough playing against. I've been playing against him on Philly in pro for a decade, and been playing against him sometimes on Amp, and it's just crazy being like, oh, if I was still playing Breeze, like, oh, we're gonna be teammates. Strange. And
Yeah.
more like he's also, I think, coaching some YCCs. So it's weird how that happens. I don't know if I'll ever be teammates with any of the Philly people, but you never know.
Yeah. That is a unique thing about Frisbee. I kind of mentioned it in one of my other interviews, but the people that, used to be your enemies are now on your team. And it is weird for a little bit. And then you're like, oh, you're so nice, usually, if they are.
Yeah, who is Loyola's main foes? Who are we mad at to this day?
Well, the school itself, our DePaul is our enemy, but DePaul doesn't really have a women's frisbee team.
Mm,
Like they did my freshman year, and we beat them pretty handily most of the time. So I guess you could say like there's only like four D1 school like at our sectionals. There's only like four schools in all of Illinois. It's like University of Illinois, U Chicago, Northwestern, us. Sometimes DePaul when they're there. There's some D3 teams, but yeah, it's kind of I guess Illinois maybe.
okay,
Mostly we
yeah,
end up playing Northwestern, U Chicago, and Illinois a ton, and then other people around the area sparingly.
yeah,
But yeah, we don't really have a foe. Neither does my club team. Well,
yeah.
no, our my club team's foe is Indie Rogue. I
Okay,
should know
okay.
this now that I'm the captain. Um,
Yeah, it's
that's
gotta be. We gotta spread the word. We'll be rooting from DC now against
okay.
them.
You
That's gonna be great.
Yeah, you tell him. No, we really want to beat Rogue. They've beat us in the last couple sectionals and regionals, and we're trying to beat them soon. We'll see.
Nice. Hey, this could be the year. Nice.
Yes, hopefully. Okay. Um. Well, now I wanted to talk a little bit about CUC and how that's going, and like what your future. Do you plan on being there a long time? Are Are you a director? Are you assistant director? Are you
Yeah.
just yeah?
Yeah, it's been kind of crazy. So the camp was started by Will Smolinski and Dave Souls, both legendary, fixtures of Arlington. And Smo retired from directing a couple years ago, kind of coming out of the pandemic. I think it's been a couple years, and to spend more time with his family or something like that.
Who needs
Crazy.
that?
But yeah, and so when he left, Dave was like, "I need a partner in this." We had a bunch of younger counselors, and then me, Nicole Getter, and Evan McLean were kind of like the in betweeners who kind of kept doing it. And so he was looking around. I was like, "Well, I guess I'm the oldest counselor. I guess I'll do this with you."
Yep.
And I was like honored to do it. And yeah, so we've been doing that last couple of years as co-directors. Dave is definitely, has been doing this for so long that I feel like it's very much Will and Dave's camp. And any good impact I've had in the last decade is awesome. But it's just cool to be a part of it and see like how players have gone from middle school to high school to being adult, and they're starting to become adults, and it makes me feel really old, and that's pretty brutal. But yeah, seeing some of like the people who were counselors under me, go and have like club careers, and then kids at camp be high schoolers now is just super weird. So, but it's
I
it's
was
really
a
cool.
I was a camper when you were a counselor once. I think that's when I met
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
Bayside.
yeah. It's pretty
Which
nuts.
which is your that was the year there was a bunch of space heater counselors. I don't know,
I
like
think I think it was me. Was that me, Joe
Joe
Freund,
Freund, and there
and
was a woman whose name I'm forgetting.
oh yeah, yeah. Oh gosh, I
I,
don't know if I can remember. Oh, Christine Valvo.
I think it was Christine. The
Yeah,
name
I
Christine
think
sounds
Christine was
correct.
there. Yeah,
Yeah, that was a good year.
yeah,
I
sweet.
remember
Yeah.
that being fun. Um, well, what is your? Do you like being a counselor director at Bayside or at like normal weekday camp more so?
Question. Yeah, I definitely feel like Bayside is something special. I did the middle school camp as a camper, and then in high school I went to Nutsy for all 4 years. And then they didn't have Bayside when I was there. A
Oh,
lot of really
okay.
cool stuff started the year after I aged out, which is
Ugh,
real
that's always
cool of
how it
them.
goes. Yeah.
Swing vote was established the year after I aged out, which is
No.
so rude of them. So I went to Nutsy and I fell in love with that idea of like a Subway frisbee camp, like with team bonding and food. Like this is awesome. And I was like, we got to have that in DC. They started it, and then I was like, okay, cool. I've got to become a counselor there in college, and that's always been like I think I don't say my pet project, but where my inspiration I think still hits, and trying to make that really cool for those kids. So I love the Bayside. Middle school is just a fun week, but I think my heart is really with the Bayside and making that I think bigger is the goal. Get a number
Yeah,
set.
that makes sense. It's all fun. But yeah, sleepaway I worked at the outdoor lab sleepaway camp, and it's always so fun. Just sleepaway camp in general,
It's
a good
awesome.
time. And frisbee, yeah, going to the beach, that was always a good time too. Um, okay, well the last time I okay, this isn't probably the last time I actually saw you, but the last time I remember maybe I remember having a conversation with you where you were saying you were going to play for a South African team, international team. This was probably what year was that at this point?
So that
Like, why do I
first
remember
year
that?
was 2022. Yeah.
Oh, okay, not that. I mean, hopefully not that long ago. And
Yeah.
have you played with any other international teams? Like, have you been to any cool international tournaments or played with any cool teams from cool places?
Yeah. I think uh, I've had a couple. I've had just two, but that I can think of. But yeah, I think there's really been an increase in like the social media connecting players and teams and interactions. And I think a lot of other countries have started traveling to like the U.S. Open. They, in the last couple of years, like Colombia started coming early on, but now other places are coming, and you get to meet more people. And they a lot of times outside the U.S. teams like to invite you over because it's not the same. And so I'm very privileged that I think I've had a pretty awesome career that I'm very thankful for. But some of that on paper too also extends to like invites, which is really cool. So 2022, I ended up playing Worlds, which was in Ohio with
Yeah.
South Africa. And that was pretty awesome. We got to connect through Andrew Roy, another
Okay.
local EULA player. And so me and my brothers went out to Ohio with Andrew, and we ended up meeting some people from Minnesota. And we all joined the South African jumble of people to play in a legendary tournament for the ages. Shout out South Africa Mutiny, legends all around. We had the time of our lives, and then they ended up getting invited to the U.S. Open a couple years later because of the success they'd had at Worlds,
Yeah.
which was awesome. And so I played with them at U.S. Open, but I've never been to South Africa. They say
Okay.
it's kind of a long flight. So I've just played in the States with South Africans.
Okay. That was I also had another guest who's from Chicago, and she did a similar thing, but with a team from India, where I think she played in the U.S. Open or something similar with them. But yeah, she's only played like for international teams in the U.S., which I'm
Yeah.
finding is, I guess, kind of more common than I guess I would have thought it might be. Um,
Yeah, I think some of the I've been to some really cool like travel tournaments. I've been to TEP, which is
oh, cool.
in
Yeah, in Colombia.
Colombia. That was awesome. They brought the breeze down, and that was so much
Oh,
fun.
that's cool.
I've been to Amsterdam,
Oh,
which
for
is
the
yeah,
windmill tournament?
windmill.
No, windmill. Yeah. Okay, it's called windmill.
Yeah,
Okay,
so my roommates and I got to play together, which was really cool. Our house is four frisbee players, so we assembled a team, and I got to bring my brothers and some childhood friends like Grayson Sainer and a bunch of other cool people.
that's fun.
And so I'm really enjoying the make your own team, bring it places effect. The one other abroad place I got to play was in the Dominican Republic at PAUC, Pan
Okay.
American Ultimate Championships, and I got to play with Panama Oosh, which I'm repping today.
That's cool.
So shout out the Oosh guys. That was also incredible. I didn't know anyone on the team. They invited me out. I played for Panama at the championships. We had a great time, and I'm hoping that at Worlds this year in Ireland, I'm hoping to make my return to play after my injury with a team called Warao, and I'm hoping to connect some Panamanians with Warao, and we're all gonna combine, and my roommates and some other people, and we're all gonna play in Ireland. So
That sounds so. Oh,
hopefully that happens.
where is Warao? Where's that?
They're also in South America. I want to
Okay.
say that they're in Colombia, but I think I might have botched that.
Okay.
Sorry, Warao. I haven't met them yet.
Okay. We won't show them this.
Yeah, I don't show them that.
Okay. That sounds fun. Yeah, a bunch of people from Chicago just went to the one in Hawaii.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
on
like
the bucket list as well.
yeah, I've been to, I mean, kind of far for in like I went to LA for
Oh
lay,
yeah, like layout.
layout, yes.
Yeah,
But I've never really, I'm trying to think. I mean, no, I've never left the United States to play a tournament, which would be really cool.
we gotta get you out there
Yeah. Well, if anyone needs a team if you hear of anything, let me know.
for sure. For sure.
Okay.
We'll assemble another squad for Amsterdam again at some point. And,
Okay.
that tournament is awesome. So
Yeah, I've heard it seems really cool. I'd love to play in Europe. I'm trying to interview some people who it'd be really like I want to interview some people who play Ultimate in Europe because I think it's pretty different than what it's like here in some ways, which is really awesome or cool. I want to hear more about it. So
yeah, when we got to PAOK, it was a bunch of Panamanians and me and Andrew Sugarin from Machine.
oh my gosh, I know Andrew.
And
I
I
mean,
was like, oh,
yeah,
nice to meet you. And so now we're kind of friendly, and he's lovely. So yeah, it's cool meeting new people and getting to play on teams that I never thought we'd combine on.
is that Shrew? Who they call Shrew?
Mhm.
Okay, I think one time he gave me a compliment at indoor league, so that's yeah.
Nice.
That's how that's my
High
claim to fame.
praise.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, if there was anything else that like you wanted to take time to talk about before we go to our fun questions, you can let me know. I don't know if I skipped over anything you're really rearing to talk about.
No, yeah. Like shout out to the like Eula and I think like the you've seen in Arlington and I mean that's connected us here today and I
Yeah.
think like we're always trying to recruit more and we're starting our spring season but really hoping that like Arlington stays a powerhouse of youth ultimate and continues to do it because it's pretty sweet. So
Yeah, if you're a high schooler listening to this in Northern Virginia for some reason, you should you
yeah,
should play Ultimate.
stay here, move to Chicago, and then like figure out what else you're doing.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely very glad and happy I got to like the youth scene in the DMV is so good. Like I'm very lucky to have started with that. And I just was looking at the under 20 like people who made the team, and there are definitely a couple Maryland and DC and Virginia people. So that's good. We're
Yeah,
staying in it.
yeah, it's pretty sweet. But yeah, I don't know if I can think of anything else, but yeah,
That's okay. I have fun questions too.
yeah. Well, real quick, like, how did you give me like the brief, like, how did this podcast come to be? And like, who else have you interviewed and what led you to asking me to do it as well? you know,
Sure.
like,
Okay. Well, I started it. I was working two part-time jobs, but I still wasn't hitting 40 hours a week. Funny, I live here with my boyfriend who also is a EULA alum, Ben McCracken. You might know
oh,
Finley
that's cool.
McCracken.
I do know
Okay,
Finley.
that's
Yeah,
his brother.
that's awesome.
I love Finley. Yeah, so I live with him here, which has been awesome. We've been able to throw the frisbee a lot. But he has, you know, a full-time job, so that's nice. So I had a lot of free time and I really loved doing content creation and this girl I work with at one of my jobs started a podcast and she was like, "It's really easy." And I was like, "Okay, like why not? I have time." But then since then I got a third part-time job, which has made my life a little more chaotic. But again, on St. Patrick's Day, hopefully it'll calm down. But yeah, now it's like I had to release my last episode like a week late and I was like, but I have more time now. I'm back in it. I interviewed Caleb. I interviewed Chicago people, since then, mostly some people I played at Loyola with. I knew I wanted to ask someone from DC because I was like, I know people in DC, and I was like, whose phone number do I have?
Yeah. Hell
Like that
yeah.
was the big thing.
Let's go.
I was like Zach Norrbom.
That's so contacts are proven. That's sick.
Yeah. So, but I've texted like a lot of people, and then it's like
Yeah.
really hit or miss on who's actually going to end up doing it. So I appreciate you doing it. Now we're here. But I'm hoping to have like some more, like if you know Jack Shanahan, he's in Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like like I know him, so he's gonna be on hopefully. And then my friend like connected me, and you can do this as well. Like if you have anyone's emails that you think might be interested, like I'll send an email. So I just had somebody actually respond. I need to email them back, which is
Yeah.
really exciting because that would be the first person I would have interviewed that I'm like I don't even know who you are at all. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
we've never met. But yeah, that's mostly why I'm doing it, and it's actually not too difficult.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
fun.
it's super cool. I mean, there's a couple of frisbee podcasts out there where it's just
Yeah,
like a couple dudes hanging out and talking frisbee, and they do great stuff. But I mean, I love there's another option as well, and adding more content with frisbee is always good.
yeah. I wanted to do more of like a interview people and ask them about their frisbee versus like talking about frisbee current events. But I definitely also love frisbee current events and keep up with them. So I will like when we get into the club season, when the college season comes to an end, like I'll definitely be trying to do some episodes about that. But yeah, I'm trying to like kind of make my own little niche for myself because there are definitely a lot of frisbee podcasts.
That's very
But
cool.
I it's been going well. Who is it? Jeez. Revolver like reposted one of my reels
Oh, sick.
about that, like mentioned them. It was like a heated rivalry frisbee mashup.
Oh, I love it.
And so yeah, it's been cool. Like people have been following. I'm like, oh,
Was
I've
this the
seen.
one where it was? I don't even know if this is you, but this is the one where it was like wondering like which players are in romantic relationships. There's just like quick snippets of people like standing next to each other and like
It,
guarding each other.
no, it was no. I've seen that one. No, this was
Okay.
like a clip from an episode I did with my friend, and she asked me like, oh, what teams would the heated rivalry players play on if they played frisbee?
Uh,
And then one of them Ilya we said played Revolver, and then they like saw it 3 weeks later and
that's
reposted it.
awesome.
I was like, cool.
Hey, yeah, not
So
bad take. That's awesome.
yeah.
Very
Okay,
cool.
well let me get to my fun questions before we finish. Um this one you've played for so many different teams, and so like this doesn't need to be like a really serious answer, but like what is your favorite team you've ever played for that you just had like the most fun?
Oof. Um, these are gonna get hard hitting pretty quick because you were like, "Here's some fun questions," and I was like, "Oh, actually, I take all these very seriously," and
Okay.
I'm so like, I feel like such a frisbee head that I have
Okay.
so
You
many
are.
answers. I'm like, "Oh, what do you mean, like a team I want to play for? Like
That's
past, future, current, like in my prime? What am I like? How many answer this question?" So there's so many players. For me, I think some of my early frisbee memories are like the like such a dream ride. The end of my high school career, I started on the C team in high school and worked my way up to varsity. And my last couple of years as a junior and a senior, we won YHB states, and that was an insane memory with Cochran and
oh
Dave
Chance.
Boyle and all these
He
other
was a
just like
Bayside counselor too.
hmm
Chance.
hmm
Okay, I just
just
remembered
like
that.
icons of my early career, who I still look up to. And so that junior and senior year, and then winning with my HB teammates, Grayson Sainer, Akram Abudir, Nick Sam, Andy Bograd, like winning those two state titles was probably just so much fun. And then I got the chance. Probably one of the cooler like things I got to do was I got to play YCCs with Boston Buddha,
Oh,
which is
that's
kind of
cool.
like a deep cut that people
Yeah.
kind of forget about. That me and Grayson got a random invite through a mutual friend to join Buddha Mixed because they didn't have enough players, and they're like, "We need a couple of out of towners," and we ended up playing with this guy named Tanner Johnson on the team.
Oh,
And I was like, oh, this guy seems pretty cool.
isn't he on Sprocket?
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
legend.
Yeah,
He's
he's really yeah.
probably one of the best overall players I think of the generation. And yeah, so me and Grayson got to win a mixed YCC title in
Oh, you won the
2013.
whole thing?
Won the whole thing with
That's
Tanner and some amazing women matching players who went on to Dartmouth and on Sprocket and others.
yeah.
Some insane players that were all in a weird mashup together out of nowhere. A lot of players who I think don't play anymore, but just like what an amazing summer we had, and I can't believe they created swing vote the year after, so I couldn't, could never play for DC. But some of those early years just like cemented my love for frisbee and made me think that Virginia was an endless supply of really cool frisbee players, and so I'd always want to come back, and there was just an endless supply of really cool teams to play for, and I think I've tried to play for all of them. um,
Why not?
through Ant Madness and AG and Space Heater and back to Rally to make sure I get everybody in my generation. So I haven't played on Vault. Sorry,
Oh yeah.
fellas, but maybe someday. So yeah, so a lot of really joyous starts, and then I've really loved every time I've been on Space Heater, Magical Run, Rally, all the people that I've always wanted to play with, and then my international play has been also really good to distract from some injuries I've had over the last couple of years. So getting a chance to kind of just go out there with no expectations has been really, really cool.
That's cool. Okay, well you also mentioned like if you got to pick what team you'd want to play for most.
Oh yeah,
I
I
can be
dodged the question entirely.
That's okay. I'm trying to be more I can be more specific. It doesn't have to be now. You could like really dis oh my gosh. You don't have to you can suspend belief. That's what I'm trying to say. You can kind of answer it however you'd like.
I guess I
Suspend. Jeez.
uh which team like did I enjoy the most playing for or would want to play
Like
for?
would want to like which team would you like love to play for a season or a tournament? Like anywhere, go
Really good
crazy.
question. It's tough because I definitely been through a lot of my goals. I think playing for Vault would have been really cool at some point. Truck Stop was also quite a ride. Gosh, there's definitely some other teams across the country that I'd love to play for at some point. But I don't think it's in. I don't have any plans for that. Who's really cool? I've always
Okay.
thought about linking up with like old friends. So like the chance to play with Chance Cochran in Colorado. I feel like a lot of the Colorado teams are pretty awesome. I'd love to play with him again. I would love to play again with my childhood friend Grayson on Toro.
Oh,
So
cool.
like there's some communities I think I definitely like to play for, but being a Virginian all my life, it's hard to think about playing for another area that I don't have at least some begrudging I want to beat them
Yeah.
attitude. So sorry to completely avoid the question, but
No, that's
I've
okay.
checked most of my boxes.
That's good. Yeah, no, Virginia's a great place to play frisbee your whole life. It's a great good hot spot for it. Okay. Well, what is your frisbee hot take?
Okay, I wrote down a couple here.
Okay.
So my we'll start serious. I think that marking is starting to be where like some teams are really keying in, and I think marking is the hardest thing to do in ultimate. So I don't think I think it's a pretty cold take. I think the hardest thing to do is marking.
Like on the when the player has a disc or just like playing
Yeah, when
okay.
you play with the disc, I think like
On the
just
yeah.
I think hand blocks are just the most impressive thing, and I think marking is incredibly hard. And as someone who's never been hand blocked, I just think that I'm just kidding, but like I think that's the most challenging thing, and teams are starting to like do more creative things. But I think my hot take is the next team to like really figure out how to get people by doing like different marking things is like going to be the future.
Okay. That's a good one.
I got,
Yeah.
I got, I got a bunch. I'll go
Yeah,
on.
please keep
All
going.
right,
Keep
that's
going.
gonna be hard. For anyone thinking out there who's got big ideas, let me know. How to change the game.
Okay.
Um, and then the this one is I don't want to give any secrets, but the teams that I coach will be employing this strategy.
Okay.
And that strategy is the tiger trap or the snake in the grass.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Have you
Okay.
ever run one and or been a victim?
Yes, definitely at, middle school league
Oh,
camp.
brutal,
You
brutal.
might have
Middle
a
school
different
league?
version.
Okay, okay. Well, I recommend you start getting into it because, um, you know, we introduced it to the boys at on South Africa, and we blocked almost every nationals team that we played at the tournament. We got two on Seattle Sockeye, um, and we even hit them with a double tiger trap. The future is in the unexpected. You're seeing Minnesota run some tiger traps in pro. Just saw some at college in the latest college tournament. I
Okay,
think
I
tiger
feel
traps
like
in the future.
I feel like we have different. I think there's a miscommunication here.
That's true.
What do you mean by a tiger trap? Because what I'm
Yeah.
thinking is what we would do, where we'd like just play around jokey, where we'd make one person go play defense on everyone, and everyone else would hang out in the end
Oh.
zone.
Well, I'm talking
And
about the reverse, where you
okay,
send six people down and
okay,
you leave one person and they hide in the grass.
okay.
And they lie down. You gotta be on the field, but you lie down in the corner and you play 6-on-7. And eventually the other team's like, hey, why is that person not guarded?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my gosh, we're gonna get a free goal. Let's just send them to the end zone and put it up. And then they're jogging along, not a care in the world, and out of nowhere, someone stands up, blocks the hell out of them, and it's just sadness.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah. So I was thinking of the opposite, which I was like, I don't know how that's going to work, but this makes more sense. I'm excited and I hope it works for you. And it's cool that it has worked.
Yeah, it's gonna be the future. Super excited for HB, and hopefully we'll see how the rest of the team goes for it on swing vote this year. But we're gonna put
Hopefully.
some snakes in the grass.
Okay. I think you got a good shot. Okay, which other hot takes did you have?
Okay, last one. I'll keep it short. I think people got to go embrace the crazy jerseys.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
go back to it. We found the sweet spot with some creative jerseys, and then we've been playing it safe the last couple of years. And we need to get back to it. I'm thinking old school truck stop from a couple years ago where they had the crayon jersey. Are you aware of this?
No.
There's a truck stop jersey. I want to say
Googling it.
2018, 2019 era when I was on Space Eater. Um, and they had this design. One was serious, and their light looked like a child had drawn a picture of a truck.
Oh.
And it was hilarious. And they all bought like really extra large jerseys, so they were swimming in them. And I think it was a great bit. And I think that teams need to get more creative. We need to bring back since AG died. They were the only team wearing gray, in Biggest League gray, and
Y-
no other team has done gray since. What are we doing?
Yeah, well, gray is our hot take on the last one was no, it was a couple someone had a hot take, another one guess that was that gray is a dark. So that was
I've been trying to convince Rally to do the tricolor beige or the tricolor gray.
I remember they
Um,
had that jersey, the the beige one. Didn't they have that
they've
before or
been going
no?
through different tricolor jerseys. They started with blue's been there the whole time,
Yeah.
tricolor blue, but they had a tricolor yellow, which I think is probably what you were thinking,
Okay, I think
and they had a
so.
tricolor pink. And I'm like, hey, we got to keep mixing it up. We
Yep.
can't just conform to these normal jerseys like everyone else. We got to start thinking, what else can we tricolor?
I think that's a good idea. Okay,
So,
shades of brown. Just kidding. No,
shades of brown. Come
why not?
on, why not?
Why
Who else is,
not?
who else is making brown look good? Brownie and
Yeah.
Motion, maybe the only
Yeah,
ones
maybe.
holding it down with the brown.
Yeah, we need to get another team in there that's gonna wear brown. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well those are some good hot takes. Final question is what is your dream line? And then I didn't really tell you this before, but you can say frisbee people. I've had a lot of people say basketball players. They've like
Uh,
thrown one of those in, but totally up to you how you want to interpret it.
I should have like done some deep cuts on like the best like pull high jumpers or something like that. But um, I mean, I've played on so many really cool teams that I feel like I've had so many excellent teammates. I think I'm such a frisbee nerd that I could list all the like couple revolver people of old that I'd love to like try playing with and who I learned from. And do I want to play with, if I was in my prime with Prime Jim Mickle, that
Oh,
was so
yeah.
much fun. But looking forward, like if I got a chance to play with more of like, my childhood, idols and stuff like that'd be really cool. So, and like also people that I've never really gotten the full chance to do an actual season with. So my brothers, first of all, like I'm gonna make kind of like a mixed line. Um,
That's okay. Yeah.
we're reuniting the siblings,
Okay.
in all of our respective primes. We're getting all three Norman boys and Molly in there. We're getting my childhood friend Grayson in there. I would love to include the roommates, but we already got a chance to play. Um, and then, if Grayson and Tanner and I linked up again, awesome. I hear he's getting like the most stats ever at club mixed,
Oh, that
mostly
doesn't
against
surprise
my
me.
team, which is kind of annoying. But, if I got some of those childhood players, Xavier Maxstat in his prime was just the best ever. And I'd love to play with a lot of those players that I can get a chance to play with. So, and my brothers and I, like, we've been on the same team, but um, only for that one Amsterdam tournament. Otherwise, we've been on the same team, but like different lines. We had
Okay.
on truck, we were all on different on one on the three lines. Each line had Norbom, so
They need
it
to
was
split you
cool
up.
to be teammates. But they never wanted the like short kings lineup. Um, so if I was running a dream line, it'd be me, Adam, Gus, Grayson. None of us are over 5'10".
Okay. That's
give,
okay.
give me my college teammate Justin, who was also like 5'8", and we're just gonna run like five short dudes and a bunch of short women, and we're just
Okay.
gonna crush whoever we come across. And if we get a couple scandal friends in there, great. If we get some rally women in there, awesome. But yeah, we'd run a short kings and queens DC truthers line, and
You
then
guys,
Tinder can be there, but we had to figure out something else.
okay. You guys would be really good at laying out, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, we'll play low, we'll play
Yeah.
on the knees, and
Exactly.
we'll get that team going at a fun tournament sometime.
Yep. I think that'd be good. Okay. Well, that was my last question. Thank you so much for being on the podcast and taking the time to talk to me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I'm actually in my pottery
I
studio,
was gonna add,
and
yeah,
so I'm gonna get back to it.
yeah.
Um,
Do you want to plug your pottery? Do you sell your pottery, right?
Oh yeah, let's get
You
those.
don't
Let's get
have to,
those,
but
those
if
hats. If I'm on Instagram at Norbom_ceramics, I mostly make captain gifts. So if you want a mug with your captain's name on it, I will make those and send them to you. A couple weeks late, but I'll get there. Um, and then yeah, look out for rally and swing vote this summer, and HB. Hopefully the road to nationals.